Douglas Costa is an enigma. Some believe he's a world-class winger and Bayern are mad for selling him. Others, especially a large portion of Bayern Munich fans, will swear to you he's the Brazilian Balassi. So where does the truth lie? That's what we're here to find out, as Juventus have secured his services on loan with an option to buy. Before I get this video properly underway, I'd just like to apologise if you've been waiting for me to respond to your comments or upload a video. I've have really, a condition with my eye. Nothing mad, sounds a lot worse than it is, but I've been taking it easy this week. So as such, I've missed out on the Lukaku and Rooney transfers if you're waiting for me to do a video on that. I will be going on overdrive now, so expect stuff on Kyle Walker, Tomomi Bakayoko, Bonucci if that goes through, and potentially James Rodriguez and Iheanacho over the next few days. If all goes well, I might try and find time to post my views on Lukaku and Rooney. As for now, let's get back on topic. Football opinions on Costa are very polarising, but one thing we can all agree on is that he's a phenomenal dribbler. Despite being one-footed, the uniqueness in his dribbling style lends itself to openings that most can't create by themselves. The way he sped past 4 Arsenal players in like 2 seconds before setting up someone smaller to slam the ball into the back of the net was a work of art. Moves like that had established Costa's reputation as the new Ronaldinho, a tag no doubt owned up to the fact that he's developed at the same club as the Brazilian and Barcelona legend, Gremio. Nonetheless, in the very same season Costa brutalised Arsenal, he was the 6th best dribbler in the Champions League, the 2nd best dribbler in the Bundesliga, and the 10th best in Europe's top 5 leagues, establishing himself as one of the top class wingers in the world. However, I would still say Bayern are justified in getting rid of Costa, and it's because he suffers from a chronic lack of end product. The most amount of league goals he scored in his career is 6 and 7 at most in all competitions. Of course, raw numbers are not the only measure for determining who is world class and who isn't. After all, that didn't stop Luis Figo or Ryan Giggs from enjoying such reps. Heck, Figo even won a Ballon d'Or. Overall, Costa's game is lacking. His flashy style covers the amount of times his brain-dead actions killed an attack when he should have passed, taken a shot, or slowed things down. At his age, that's unforgivable, and as such I can only rate him as a 7 out of 10 player based on his pure ability. Bayern selling Costa doesn't mean that Juventus cannot find a use for him, however. Despite the two heavyweight sides being of the same standing, Bayern played differently to Juve. Ancelotti's side can only play one way, and that's all-out attack. As they dominate the ball, their players see much more possession than on average, which can expose deficiencies such as, you've guessed it, poor decision making. Juventus are much more pragmatic and tend to alter their style based on the opposition. They went tit for tat with Inter Milan in an entertaining Serie A match, they went to the counter-attack versus Barcelona, and they parked the bus for periods against Real Madrid. I can see Costa thriving for Juventus as he has space to drive into, relying more on instinct to meet a simple objective: beat your man, get to the byline and whip in a cross. At Bayern he has much less space to work in and is often forced to get involved in intricate play, something that goes against him. As far as Juve are concerned, Costa fulfills the need for them too. In the Champions League final versus Real Madrid, by the way, shameless plug, I've got a video analysing this in greater detail, link in the description, they desperately needed an outball as they were under siege, but they didn't have anyone to break down Madrid's pressure, so they kept losing the ball and ended up getting mauled 4-1 in the second half when the first half was so even. It's not hard to see why looking at the stats. Dybala is their best dribbler, but his style is more close quarter dribbling, which is commonly used to wriggle out of small gaps. The next best is Alexandro, who is a fullback. Third is Juan Cuadrado, who is not exactly the most reliable, so you can see why Juventus have made this move. Stats wise, he dwarfs every Juve player in dribbling, so much so I actually think he'd give them a new dimension. Assuming he replaces Dani Alves on the right wing, his sole purpose would be to provide more width and whip in crosses for Mandzukic, who would be a lot more narrower on the other wing, and Gonzalo Higuain up top. It also gives Allegri tactical options. If he wants to go hell for leather, he could put Cuadrado on the other wing and make the pitch as big and as expansive as possible, in a similar tactic to Manchester United under Alex Ferguson. Suitability wise, this has to get a 10 out of 10. Costa suits the 4-2-3-1 formation Allegri favoured towards the end of the season, and he has the required skill set to address Juve's shortcomings. I also feel Juventus have pulled off a genius move in regard to the price of this deal. They've got one of the world's most leading wingers on a 2-year loan deal worth $5 million per year with an option, not an obligation, an option to buy for 35 million. Wow, that's brilliant negotiating. In an age where other players of similar standing are going for triple the amount, you have to applaud the savvy behind this. Of course, Juventus and Bayern have a great partnership and have completed many transfers between each other in recent years, but that cannot take away from what will be the best transfer you'll see this summer in terms of value anyway. Hence why it's getting a 10 in that category, to give this an overall of 27 out of 30. To sum it up, Costa can be a frustrating player, but Juventus have taken steps to avoid a massive financial hit on a calculated gamble. What do you guys think? Does this transfer have the potential to be the best piece of business as far as Juventus are concerned? And have Bayern Munich royally screwed themselves over? Have your say in the comment section, and don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell for notification of future uploads. Till next time, ciao.